Hello, I'm Pavan Singh and this is my good friend Sharda Harrison and this is Teh Tarik with Mr. Singh.
Teh Tarik satu.
Okay. So, let me just introduce my guest today, Sharda Harrison, good friend of mine. We went to drama school together, an amazing actress, theatre practitioner, theatre artist. She's been in numerous theatre productions in Singapore. She's done work here, she's done work internationally. I love her to bits. She's a great person. And today I'm going to talk to her about...
Don't say anymore.
And so today I'm going to talk to her about something really special she's doing. What I'd like to talk to Sharda about with today is Pink Gajah Theatre.
There's something in this.
Yeah, a lot of sugar. What I'm talking to Sharda about with today is Pink Gajah Theatre. We're having a lot of trouble getting our shit together. A theatre company which she founded, how long ago, Sharda?
5 years ago now.
5 years ago, which does some really amazing things. Sharda, tell us about Pink Gajah Theatre.
Alrighty. Well, I founded Pink Gajah Theatre 5 years ago with my then partner and company partner Najib Soiman. And therefore the name Pink Gajah, which is after the white elephant. Now the white elephant in the room is that one thing that you don't want to talk about, right? That uncomfortable thing that everybody's just kind of, skirting over. But the pink elephant is the hallucinations that you get from drinking too much. I mean, for me, it's really elephant in the room, whether it's white or pink. But I also really like the pink elephant because my work is a little bit, surreal, and I love surrealism, and that's why I love Frida Kahlo, because I love her painting. So like my work is very surrealistic in that sense. But it's also a really family-orientated run company now because my mother runs, my mother is a head storyteller, I've got my producer who is like a sister to me, and I've got my brother running media. And everybody that comes in that's not actually blood-related, we treat each other like family. They come over to the home studio, they stay past 11, like get out, sometimes like get out. But they're welcome to come and stay and eat. So it goes beyond just work, it's a family. That's what Pink Gajah is. We talk about very unconventional topics as well. We also run a laboratory program for artists to experiment with work. We do one original work here, and we run educational programs for companies and schools.
That's something that was really interesting you told me about earlier, where you do unconventional stuff.
Yeah.
And you provide a platform for especially young actors or young artists who don't quite fit in the mainstream.
It's funny about who fits into the mainstream and who doesn't, and I still haven't kind of got my head around it. I think it's a fearlessness that catapults you into the commercial world, because being commercial is all about convincing a group of people that I'm funny, I'm here, or I'm witty, I'm here, I'm talented, I'm here. But to do that, I think you have to be very brave to do that if you're not beautiful, charming, and fit the stereotypes in the commercial world. And I think in the fringe world, which Pink Gajah really is our forte, it's really looking at the artists that do live on the fringes, stemming from my passion about people who do live on the outskirts of society.
Why is that important to you?
I've always felt a big passion for people who are not treated well. And I think that has transcended into artistry as well. One of the girls in my laboratory, my younger sister in that sense, who is visually impaired, why should she not get a place in theatre because of her impairment? How can we create more dialogue to open up more spaces for people like her? People without limbs, can we put them in theatre? People that have a story to tell but aren't necessarily artists, but have a story to tell. Does that make them handicapped as well because they don't have a proper training? And what are all these stories of these people? I do appreciate the craft of highly trained actors as well, but I also understand the need that sometimes communities want to see themselves represented on stage, and I think that's what the fringe is for. It represents a portion of society that never gets represented enough on stage, and I think we have to represent them because that's all that art is. It's a reflection of life.
Tell me about that last show you had, because you had a show called Alter Egos.
Yeah. So that came out of lab. So Laboratory ran for 1 year, and we put all these artists together. And there was, amongst them, Catherine, the director, was mentoring Claire, who's visually impaired, John, who's working together with Claire. They're both quite young. Then Eugenia was the playwright. And they're so unlikely, these four people being together. And them being thrown in this laboratory work was an excavation of their own stories that eventually became these characters called alter egos. I really enjoyed being in that year-long lab just to see people grow, to see people having to kind of negotiate with each other's personalities, you know, and to do it at the home studio. That whole process was uncomfortable because laboratory work is about making uncomfortable choices.
And when I came to watch Alter Egos, at the end of it, there was this really great reaction. People were volunteering, can I be part of the next lab?
Yeah.
Did you speak to the youth after that? Like, what kind of feedback did you get?
They were excited. At laboratory, we're very willing to see you as you. If you get into the program, and even if you don't, for whatever reason, we still want to give you that, you know, opportunity to kind of, let's listen to your proposal. Let's listen to you as an artist. Let's see if we can get you on this platform. And I think the young people want that. This new generation of younger people are going to be our future, and they come with a power-packed conscience and conscious, and they're edgy and they're new. And I work with a lot of youth, and I adore them. Sometimes I want to kill them because of the lethargy that comes with being around technology. But besides that, their minds are like ticking. They're so far ahead, and I'm excited about them. I'm excited to platform them.
Why do you invest so much time trying to create unconventional theatre and working with young people? Why is this important to you?
I work for Shine. We work with troubled teenagers. There was something about working with these teenagers and building them up to a device performance that they eventually did at the Victoria Theatre that was in partnership with someone else I was working with for a charity event. Watching them walk through that theatre and them never being acknowledged, and then, you know, walking through this theatre with their heads held high as the Victoria Theatre was so empowering for me. And I thought, you know, if this empowers them, it just feels great, you know? Like, I want to be a part of these youth's lives. And there's this Greek saying that hit me about that age as well, that men plant trees whose shade they know they will never be able to sit in, which is a Greek saying. And I thought, if that's one way I could contribute to the future of things, to the conservation and the sustainability of this planet, then let me be a part of nurturing young minds, because they are going to be the fathers and then the grandfathers. That's why I'm very, very excited about young people. I love working with young people so much.
Tell me about your relationship with the theatre. You're stuck in theatre.
I liken my relationship to theatre like a lover.
Go on.
I grew up coming from my parents were divorced and everything, and as a young girl growing up, I really needed some solace, and that was theatre for me. It was like, it ended up being big sister, big brother, you know, when I was a little girl, and then it ended up becoming like best friend, and then at one point it became my lover, because that was all I knew. It was just like, I will take my lines home, I will have wine with my lines, I will go on stage, and that's all I knew. And I couldn't understand why I was so compelled by the theatre. There is a power that theatre brings to people that is undeniable, and that we can actually cause change with theatre or aspects of theatre. Theatre is like walking into a temple or a church where you go into a dark space for an hour or 2 hours, sometimes now 5 hours, and you have to watch, and you unfortunately and fortunately will be affected by whatever energy is coming out from the actors. And you will walk away healed, happy, angry, sad, whatever it is. You've walked out having transitioned in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah, this is a good segue to something we were talking about earlier, which was your experience that you had with your last Pink Gajah production.
Right, yeah.
Tell us about that.
yeah, I decided to put my mother on stage, and she was willing to get to go on stage and tell her story about her moving closer towards death and her leaving her own mother behind. And so it was really about mortality. But within that length of mortality was also about her relationship to my father and how that ended and her confessing. And it was all done through imagery. So it wasn't verbatim theatre. It was physically challenging. Of course, with theatre, walls get broken, and because you really want to make the work good, it's about when you raise a child, so theatre becomes that child. So the parents have to really be about, it's not about our ego, it's about this baby. And so my mum and I suddenly were fighting, laughing, hugging, but fighting. And those arguments hurt because we're not theatre partners. We don't go to separate homes. We come back to the same house and we're having hurtful arguments because you can't run away from the fact that I'm my mother's daughter. She's my mother. But because of that experience, it's changed our relationship. There are no more walls left. It's so free, and to have no more walls with your mother changes you. So I've changed as well. It's always trying to push me to be as authentic as I can be with people.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful story. I love how it's broken down these walls and it's just made your relationship stronger, I imagine.
Very much stronger.
What's next for Pink Gajah? What's next?
We have our open call for laboratory, so more people please come and be a part of our lab. We have artists that will now come for our open call and they'll be running their own experiments. And then we have participants that might not want to run a lab but might want to get mentorship from these artists. So we'll pair you up with people. It'll take 1 year and it will turn into a phase 1 work that we perform for the community. And we might be touring Hayat to Sydney, my mother, but let's pray on the funding. And we're developing a new work called Raksasa, which means monster in Indonesian, which is about machoism and men in society. And it follows a transgender man that's transitioning to become a woman. So Sean's, my brother's project.
Excellent. Excellent. And I was there at the last show. It was amazing. I hope people who watch this will come and support Pink Gajah Theatre. Apply if you're an artist, come speak to Sharda. She's a very open, generous person. So hope to get you in touch with some good people.
Thank you.
Do you have anything you want to say to the viewers, the audience?
Yes, I do actually. Making art is very difficult, and I can understand that, and I think Pavan can understand that. And it's difficult, but doing anything in life, any dream that you have, is difficult. And I'm only saying this because it's been a tough few months for me, and I really, on every platform that I get to be on, I'd like to encourage you to never, never, never give up. Wake up in the morning, even after that 10th audition you didn't get, that job interview you didn't get. Just wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to try again. Don't give up on your dreams. It sounds cliche, but there is this thing. It's not called hope, but it's called faith and determination, and it will get you somewhere.
Great words. Great words. Sharda, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
It's been a great conversation, and I really hope all the best for you.
Thank you.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.